All right, we are live and welcome to Passive Prospecting for Real Estate Agents. My name is Levi Lascsak, and yes, coming to you live from the new studio. What do you think? Let me know if you're just joining us. I already see a couple of you out there, but let us know in the comments or the section. Yeah, leave a comment. Comment below in the chat, whatever it is. Let us know what you think about the new studio. Pretty cool. Let me see. So yeah, I just finished this out. I did some before video, and I still got a couple more things I want to add up to the shelf. But other than that, once I add that stuff to the shelf, then I'm going to complete the video on the turnaround. But otherwise, this used to be Airbnb in my backyard. I actually converted the shed. This was just a straight shed. Whenever I moved in, I converted it to Airbnb, and had been doing that for the last couple of years. Easily pay for the mortgage. So nice little mortgage hack there. But I don't know. Just kind of I love Airbnb, like them elsewhere. I think in my backyard, I just people coming and going, walking on the side. Asking questions, things. It just was like, all right, time to transition. Plus, I wanted a nice, dedicated YouTube studio space at the house. I use my front office, but a lot of distractions, things like that happening up there all the time. And this was just something I saw where I tell you what, I love it. I tell you what, I feel more productive, more inspired, more just dialed in on doing the day-to-day. And so it's a lot of fun. And anyways, yeah, painted it this nice dark blue. I forgot what the name is. Check that again. But got some stuff back there hanging out, and it's just really cool. Feels good. Let's see. What's up, Krissy? What's going down? You're on mute. Oh, there you are.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. What's new with you?
Not new, just all the same good stuff.
All righty. Well, okay. Let's see. Oh, there we go. A little zoom in action.
Yeah, it was a little close.
Yeah, I like it. We got to get up close and personal a little bit.
That's right. So these are for.
Yeah. So what do you like the new studio, right?
Oh, it looks so good. What you guys can't see is the universe he has on the ceiling. So.
That's right. I wonder, let me see. Actually, I could switch to my webcam. Oh, see, there
you go.
You can see, yep. I got the universe brewing up there with some stars coming in every now and again. So yeah, that's pretty cool. A pretty cool look too. I could just work off my webcam. Does that looks good, huh?
Yeah, either way.
But all right, well, we go back to the regular shot, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I got to figure out, I don't know. I could probably move this up a little bit more, the camera, just to capture the ceiling, but then you lose, a little bit more of this whole action going on. By the way, all right, several of you out there, don't be shy. You got to ask some questions, because that's why we're here in the first place, is for you. So hit us up in the chat. What have we seen come in over the last week, Krissy, as far as things that we can help some people out with, or questions they're looking to get answered?
Yeah, well, this morning, if you guys joined us for Clubhouse, we talked a lot about modeling versus copying. So if you are trying to figure out how to make this model kind of fit your unique brand, I'd definitely go back and listen to that. Another thing that we've had come up in a couple conversations is kind of using, and we kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but just trying to bring in a little bit of what we call the semi-seasonal content. If you guys are going to be doing some stuff for like Christmas, New Year's, the main thing with that is to make sure that you're doing something that will be a recurring theme for like a following year. So something that doesn't necessarily expire. So a great example is if like you're in a place like Chicago or New York or someplace that has a massive Christmas celebration every single year, it's renowned, right? That would be a really good, what we like to call semi-seasonal content type, where that would be recurrent and that would be something very relevant for multiple years to come. So that can help kind of boost your holiday traffic, because what we're kind of seeing across the board is this kind of traffic volume going on throughout November and December, just because people are in the middle of holiday stuff. They're trying to get things done for their businesses. So sometimes they're not online as much. And so we're seeing huge surges around the holiday weekends. And then we're seeing dud season seasons too, weeks where we're just seeing like way lower traffic than normal. So if you want to kind of boost it when we're kind of in this weird season, that would be a really good topic. And every year that's going to recur. I have this feeling that the one that we did around snow and does it snow in Dallas, that one's probably going to start getting some traction here in the next couple of weeks. So kind of be thinking of some of those topics. Generally speaking, you want to be 2 to 3 weeks ahead of any holiday or any major trend. And so just be kind of thinking of that when you're coming up with your topics for that semi-seasonal content, but definitely a piece of content, especially in short form content. So if you're going to be adding that to your channel, that really tends to do very, very well in short form. So some type of, a reel, a YouTube short, a TikTok video, those are going to go a long way.
So what's funny is, let me see. Let me go here and just show. You just made me think because, present. Yep. Share screen. Let me do this. I just looked on an incognito window and typed in YouTube, does it snow in Texas? And a clear example of what would happen if somebody were to type in, does it snow in Texas? And whose video pops up there, number one. So yes, not a high amount of search volume, but it is there showing up number one, which is, and looks, does Texas have snow? Somebody tried to, look at there. 179 views versus 1.8 thousand views a year ago. So that's pretty cool. Snowfall in Texas. Let's see this one. Winter storm. Yeah, he was kind of doing that. 2.6. That's a travel channel. Looks kind of like Luigi, huh? Don't you think? Looks kind of like looks like he should be on Mario Kart. Possibly.
It's funny.
There is and there's a short we did over a year ago. Actually, that one has more views, 2.7 thousand views. That's a short. That was like the first short I think we did on the channel.
Yeah.
Experimenting. And so Dana. That's funny, but here's a good example. Dana's another agent here in the Dallas area, and she's somebody that I looked up to as far as definitely trying to catch. But see, her video has 10,000 views, but we still rank number one. And, the thing is that I think I would say our thumbnail is a little bit more inviting. This one's definitely cluttered. Like he's got 3 to 4, 3 to 4, no, 4 or 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, it's hard for me to even tell, even though I have it on the big screen. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little bit for y'all so you can see. But look at this. Look, I'm not going to say this is bad, but and I can't place over it now. But you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small pictures inside of a thumbnail, and I feel like it would have just been better to not have that in there at all. This one here, does Texas have snow? You're saying exactly what your title says, but it's just, is it interesting enough for people to click on that, as well as, okay, well, Dana definitely has a lot more views, but she's a more established channel a year ago than we were. When we starting out a year ago, we were not as established as her. She still had more subscribers, more views, and a lot of her videos would take off. So that, okay. And so, yep. And then you got a short that we tested with, does it snow in Dallas? And so let's see here. But yeah, I would say that's, does it snow in Texas? And then also we did this. We added 3 snow tips to help Texans survive the snow. So we added that secondary piece into it as well, to where, okay, does it snow in Texas? We're doing that, but we wanted to give it sort of that evergreen aspect, which is, 3 tips to help you survive, because winter in Texas is a lot different than winter up north. We're not that well prepared for it. But I tell you what, this was a fun one.
Building your online business.
Geez. A little loud there. Let me mute that and go back to, let me see. Let me get that out of there. I'll get this ad out of the way and I can skip that. Oh,
I don't think you're sharing your screen anymore.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
So let me see.
Hey, so we get this question coming up quite a bit, which does it ever snow in Dallas? Well, I'm going to give you a second just to answer that for yourself. Yes, we're here in Dallas, and I know if you've seen any of our previous,
you can hear how cold you are in that video.
Oh, it took my breath away. My thighs were freezing during that time frame as well. It was one of the coldest times. I'd never seen this before in all of my life in Dallas, where, if it snows in Texas, it's or at least in Dallas, it's usually once every 5 years, and it's 70 the day before, it's 70 the day after. So it's gone. Sometimes it's gone by the afternoon, and that's it, but this time it dumped a ton of snow, and then it froze and stayed below freezing for a week. I mean, to stay in like the 20s or actually in the teens, we just had never seen that before. And I went out there to film that, and I was bundled up, and I tell you what, it was taking my breath away. My thighs were burning like through my pants, and I had to make that as quickly as possible. It's only a 10-minute video, which at the time was the shortest video I've ever made. But that's why, because after about 10 minutes, I was like, I got to get back in the car. It was just cold. But anyways, yeah, you can turn it into it.
How nice it is in the wintertime, and I don't have to wear a coat. And this happens. So yes, it does snow in Dallas, but there's some tips.
So there's some tips and tricks.
And I think that's a really good distinction there too, because that's one other criteria that I always tell people when they're thinking about doing a long form video. Do you have enough content to actually fill a long form video, or are you filling it with fluff? In this case, we made it less about the snow. We answered the question, but then we gave them 3 tips to survive the snow. So it really was more about snow survival tip and not just the search term that we were talking about. So if you feel like there's not enough to talk about for 7 to 10 minutes, then it's probably better as a short form video. So you really have to think of that in terms of, is it going to appeal to lifestyle in that area, or is it just, this is the Christmas festival? If the only thing you're focusing on is like a Christmas festival or a New Year's festival, that's going to probably be better as short form content versus this is 3 different things you can do around Christmas time in this area. That would probably be a better topic than just, one thing. So think about the way that you want to format it, because there's different ways that you can put that on your channel.
Yeah. My nose is all red. It was cold. Yeah. So let me see. Oh, I had to
Avenue, and this is.
Let me see. So I had chit chat in there. Let me see. Oh, do we not have chapters in this one? This is an older one.
Really old. We probably ought to go back and re-optimize that one.
Yeah, we don't have chapters in here. So we could probably even use a little bit more of a robust description.
Yeah.
So
that was like one of the first ones we put out. I feel like it was just a couple months into the channel.
Let me see. February 16th. Yeah, that wasn't even 2 months into the channel.
Mm-hmm.
At the time. So yeah, let's we should definitely re-optimize that, especially for this season.
Oh yeah.
So which brings me to, I wonder if now if I look up YouTube and then I look on my regular channel, does it snow in Texas?
Oh, by the way, I'm cutting in this little.
So let me see. I was going to see if we still got 100 optimization score. So, but we could probably do.
We've learned some things since then.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll go back. We should definitely go back and optimize that one.
Yep.
So, all right. The solid ground method. Come visit us in Toronto. I don't know. Toronto, it's pretty cold up there, right?
I was going to say maybe in the summer.
I can't believe I still have not been to Canada ever. I have not been to Canada, and of course, the last 2 years I wouldn't have gone to Canada anyways. I wasn't allowed in Canada. So Travis was going to go for a speaking event, and he was not able to go because of certain requirements that they need. And so he just had to skip out on that for that speaking opportunity. But now I heard that was lifted. and gone. But other than that, yes, seasonal content, I think, does play a role on the channel. And the thing is now that we have more of an established channel, this is something I talked about yesterday with the mastermind group, is I think it's okay to incorporate seasonal and evergreen content on your channel regardless. Now, can you make it semi-seasonal? Yes. But I think right now there's a huge opportunity for market reports, market updates. Now, that is something that is not evergreen at all whatsoever. But I would say if you need to add in some additional content, now would be the time to take advantage of that, because the market, it seems to be changing back and forth. Interest rates are fluctuating. They're going up. They're going to be going down. They're going to change here. I mean, there's so much uncertainty in the market right now. I believe a weekly market update on your channel can be relevant for the time being. And really, you could position yourself. I mean, when you think about this, look at the newscaster and look at newscasters, right? People tune in to listen to the news every single day, and it's gone the next day. So they have to come back the next day. So what if you were able to really position yourself as the real estate market expert and giving people weekly updates? I think that's extremely relevant right now. If we weren't traveling so much in the last couple of months, we worked on that, doing that a little bit more in our lives. That's a goal for me going into 2023. You will see that because I look at talk radio hosts. I mean, talk radio hosts that talk about current events and political events and the news of the day and things like that. Look what they run usually 2 to 3 hour shows 5 days a week, and they do it year round, and guess what? They have some of the largest audiences on the planet whenever you look at their audience and their reach and everything else that they diversify into. And so I think with everything that's going on in the real estate market, you could be a weekly show. Think about actually one of the most, I know some of the most successful real estate agents in their market have that like Saturday morning radio spot, that they go in and they talk for 2 hours about the market. And they turn over business that way. Well, you don't have to get a contract with the radio station. You don't have to, wait for somebody that's had that spot for 8 years or 9 years to retire. You have a YouTube channel. You can start that right now, today, and start doing a weekly report on your channel. And that's going to give you a piece of content. So if you're doing 2 videos a week and you're struggling trying to get that third video, this is a great opportunity for you to get a third video on your channel and do it the same time every single week. And what I would recommend is that you curate the news of the week, the real estate news of the week, what's happened over that last week. Because guess what? Markets are changing, sales are up, prices are up, prices are down. Everybody's hearing noise. What you need to be able to do is if you can take a week's worth of content, of news in your market, curate that and turn that into a 20, 30, 40-minute live stream where you're just kind of talking through that and say, hey, here's some headlines that came out this last week. This is a good article. I see this, or this is not a great article, or they didn't do any research, or they're not thinking about this, or they're not considering this, or they haven't used, and you talk people through that and do that on a consistent basis. Right now, I believe that's very relevant, and I believe this will help you gain traction on your channel if you're also trying to find your footing on your channel as well. And if you're just getting started, is really pushing out lives right now. They're focusing on lives. They're focusing on shorts. Shorts is another opportunity. We've talked about this in the previous episodes. And if you go to our podcast, search passive prospecting on Apple or Spotify, you'll find our passive prospecting YouTube for real estate podcast. We go into depth on some of this stuff, and you will see that I think now is the time to do that, to position yourself as an authority in your market right now, because how many agents in your market are doing weekly updates? And what I think is really kind of cool about that is you're really time stamping, your market, your city, yourself. That's the kind of the cool thing. This is legacy stuff. This is things that your team members, your family, your friends, your kids, your grandkids, maybe even your great grandkids. Who knows how long YouTube's going to be around and people are going to be on it. But imagine, in 50 years, your great grandkids or somebody are sitting on your channel looking at, watching every one of your weekly reports and know you. And it's a timestamp of that time. And yeah, is it going to be as searchable? Probably not. But the thing is that it's giving you additional reach. And if you start to gain an extra 5, 10, or 15 people from each week from those streams, you're adding to your overall audience. And guess what they're going to find is all of your long form content, all of your evergreen content, all of your short content. And that's going to lead them down the path of getting more engaged and more involved in your channel. So that's the things that I would be looking at and focusing on right now, is increasing more content, increasing visibility. The most visible agents are going to win in this market. And if you're doing video, you need to do more video. Okay. That's what you need to do. So let's see. Yep. So come to visit us in Toronto. Maybe yes, summertime. Let's do an event next year. Okay. Hey, I'm down with that. I'm definitely down with that. If you want to arrange an event and I show up, I'm all about that. No, I'm happy to visit markets, by the way, Susan. So if you want to talk YouTube or, growing your team or expanding or anything like that in your market, I'll be happy to do that. I will travel for you to do that. So, if you're part of our group and our team and our organization of people that we partner with, I'm absolutely available and we'll do that. I'll make myself available. So, we'll get something planned and scheduled. And this is how we built out our local team very quickly. We held a local event. We taught YouTube. We talked about all the accomplishments that we had. We positioned people, what it would be like to be with our team. We had a local event. I remember the first one we did, we had almost 100 people there, and we brought on, 4 to 5 agents onto our local team. And it was a great way. And we needed that right that moment, because that was in December of last year. Yeah, about a year ago. And January blew up, February blew up, March blew up. We did 90 transactions in the first 90 days of 2022. If we didn't have that team in place, we would have been drowning and losing business. And we probably still even lost some business. We probably accidentally overlooked some stuff, and so that's the thing, is that you want to do a local event to grow your team, or to talk about YouTube, or, to grow your team by talking about YouTube. Yeah. I'll do it. I'll go. I love it. I love to travel and, visit new places, hang out, network, speak, where I was just in Houston yesterday speaking at an event. It went really, really well. So it was pretty cool. And Susan says, should we position the market updates as the feature video or return viewer trailer? Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, feature trailer, the thing is that you'd have to just, if you did it as the trailer, I think the trailer is because you're probably trying to attract people that are not subscribed to the channel. And it would be a very relevant video. And if you change it out every week and you're like, hey, this week in the real estate market, I could see how that captured people's attention. Now, until you get a lot of views, I would say that could be a downside, is if you have like 50 views or 75 views or 100 views on it, a lot of people may go, okay. But as to where if you have a featured or trailer of some of your most viewed, it's almost like instant credibility on your channel. Somebody comes there and they're like, oh, this video has, if it just has a K, if it's just 1,000 views, I think something psychologically on YouTube videos, just when it gets that little K next to it, really, really just kind of adds a level of credibility. Now, it doesn't mean that people won't call you, because we got our first phone call with 48 subscribers. So clearly that wasn't a concern of that person. They found value in the content, but yeah, I mean, I would experiment with it. Why not? Try it for a month. And, just make note of where your subscribers are, where they end up at the end of the month. Try it out. Make sure you refresh it every week. Make sure you stay consistent each week on that new market report. But sure, why not? But otherwise, I like to default to more viewed videos, would be my recommendation. So
yeah, and I would say too, with that, I would really base that on what you're seeing in the patterns of performance in your analytics too, because a lot of times when we change out our trailer, it's because we see that we're about to have a surge in a certain video, and so we know that that's going to attract more people. And so and really kind of going back to what you were saying before with like the live streams and kind of putting in that different type of content, I think it really, the people who are the most successful on YouTube they ride these waves based on intended use for certain tools. So people who are creating content for long form content, it's because they're creating content for people who are looking for long-term, evergreen content. The lives have a very different look and feel to them. When people are looking for live content, the reason they're looking for that is like immediate relevancy. And so I feel like, generally speaking, those like market updates and things like that are going to do better in a live scenario than they would in a long form. Now, I think that there's ways to increase potency with some of the long form video using maybe market updates and things like that, because like Levi, you do a great job of this when you're going in and doing the content that's around like market crash and things like that. You're pulling in like a little bit of current stuff, but a lot of it is like, oh, but over the past 10 years, this is why the market's not going to crash, because looking at over the past 10 years, you can see just like the consistency in the housing market. And so it's really, again, turning it into an evergreen video using current matters at the same time. So I think that there's a way that you approach every type of content that you do, but it comes down to what is the intended use of that type of platform? Am I tuning into what YouTube created this for? If you're kind of going against what the YouTube algorithm is kind of positioned to do with each different type of content, that's when things fall flat. So ultimately, stuff that is going to expire, it's timely, trends, that type of stuff tends to do really well in like short form. But if it's a longer form type of conversation, then live would probably be your next best option for that. If it's something that's going to have a long lifespan, then I would probably choose to go with long form.
There you go. There you go. Let's see, living in a greater Charlotte, Lake Norman area. All right, must have equipment for beginners. Well, you must have a camera. You must have an iPhone, maybe an Android. I don't know. You can have an
Android.
You can have it. Okay, definitely an iPhone, and definitely an iPhone, and also so must have equipment for beginners. You definitely want to have an iPhone or an Android. You want to have a plug-in or a lav mic. You can find those on Amazon from anywhere from $25 to $150. I like the Shure MV88, which plugs directly into the iPhone. I do not need any batteries or cords, and it's a shotgun mic, directional. So I love the quality. And actually, if you watch this on a reel, you're gonna be listening to the quality on that. And then let's see, and then a tripod, something very simple, actually. Boom. This is a tripod right there. Holds the iPhone. Very easy. I like to just tilt this just to the side, and it holds it out. So when I'm just like that, boom, it kind of gives it a little tilt. So whenever I hold it out naturally, it's kind of like right there, instead of me having to worry about going straight out all the way. I can actually just hold my arm in a natural position, and it puts it right there. So I can just, move around, switch hands. Look at me now. Boom, 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 boom. And I can go ninja style if I need to. No. Okay. All right. I know, took it a little too far there, but that's what you can do. So that's really what you need: iPhone, microphone, and tripod. But you could probably even get away without a microphone, but audio is going to be questionable sometimes. If there's any wind, that will pick it up. But the iPhone microphones are really good right now. So if you recorded an office video, you could probably capture what you need without a microphone. You'll probably still hear a little bit of distortion or a little bit of an echo, which is not ideal. And I do believe you absolutely have to make the investment on equipment. because the cameras on iPhones and Androids now are amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. And so audio is just as important, if not more important. So actually, I know audio is really more important because nobody wants to listen to a crappy video. Yeah, even quality is a little on camera. It can be, but you can work through that. But still, you film on an iPhone, it's not going to be bad quality for sure.
Yeah, you can patch up over bad video. You cannot usually patch up over bad audio. If it's bad audio, there's only so much you can do on noise reduction in the editing side. So that's definitely the most important.
I mean, this is an iPhone, and I mean, it looks like a winter wonderland out there, I think it just looks so good just with an iPhone. And that's where I'm holding my arm in a natural position and it has that tilt on it. So I think that's why a lot of people are asking, what are you doing? How are you holding it? It looks like I'm doing that in a natural position, but it's just because I tilt that tripod piece, the top of the tripod just a little bit. So it just gives me more of a natural hold, makes it very simple. So just trekking on through the woods. Once I start the video, I have to let it play. That way I get the whole view duration, so. So if I have to use a video as an example, I'm like, well, it has to keep going. So let's see. Should we wait until we have a certain number of subs before doing a live stream? I mean, I don't think so. Is there any requirements on having? I think you just have to apply. If you haven't gone live before, I believe, I forget now because I did that. Yeah, I think I had to apply and had to wait like 24 hours.
Yeah, they've opened it up for everybody since then. So
okay.
You should be able to. There may be a sometimes YouTube, just to make sure you're a real person and not a bot, they will make like a 30-day restriction period when you first start an account. If you've started a brand new email account or something like that, there are sometimes some requirements when you're just starting your account, but as far as subs, no more.
Yeah. So should you wait to have a certain number of subscribers before you live stream? Short answer, nope. No. Let me see.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, people really aren't looking at the subscribers as much as you think. I mean, they'll look at it from time to time, but ultimately, seeing consistent content is more important to a lot of people, especially in this industry. People trust you with 2 subscribers. You can get a call with 10 subscribers on your channel.
Yep. We had a team with 6 days, 2 videos, and I don't know. They had 6 or 8 subscribers.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, 6 or 8 subscribers, and they got a call for a $740,000 client. So, all right. Susan says, great. It's a deal. I'll organize it. All right. Well, we'll see you in Toronto. I know I don't wear glasses. These are blue blockers. Sometimes when you're under the lights for a lot of hours during the day, which I try to just turn them off in between doing segments, but sometimes like today, I'll be on back-to-back calls, trainings, just like nonstop. So to me, that the lights, they wear a little bit on you. So I put on the blue blockers just to keep it out. Let's see. Hey guys, where do I get more information for your coaching? You can get more information from our coaching at 214-624-6165 is the number. Actually, Krissy, can you put that in the chat?
Yep.
You can also visit us at passiveprospecting.com. By the way, the book will be out February of 2023. At least I'm manifesting that. So that is whenever it's supposed to be out. I don't have a solid date on it yet, but everything's which make is the tripod? It's Ulanzi. Ulanzi tripod. Let's see. All right. Greater Charlotte Lake Norman says, got all of that. Didn't know if there was something more helpful. And did you just chuckle at my name? Yes, I did. Living in Greater Charlotte Lake Norman area. Yes. Yeah, I would say I like it, So I had to make sure I said it all correctly. Yes, absolutely. So Greater Charlotte, I don't know. If you're trying to niche in, now that you bring it up, you're trying to niche in on Lake Norman, perfect. Greater Charlotte might be a better Greater Charlotte area. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe you've done the search volume. If you've done that as well, then perfect. So, but living in Greater Charlotte, Lake Norman area. Yes. I always think of saying things 3 times fast. That's what makes me laugh, because I have to, when I say stuff, and you'll see this on a few other videos, I'll be like, try saying that 3 times fast. So if it's something that you have to say 3 times fast, it's a little extended, but again, if you've got the search volume and that's what people are looking for, then great. So whenever I was reading that, because I like to give shout outs to the people that are posting the questions here. So whenever I said living in the Greater Charlotte, Lake Norman area, yes, that actually does make me chuckle a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I got it all correctly. So, but again, let me see. So hopefully didn't take offense to that. But I have a light spirit anyways. But hey, if you got the search volume for it and that's what people are looking for and you want to niche down into Lake Norman, then you're going to capture that market. No problem. All right. Living in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. All right. Say that 3 times fast. So Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. Yeah. Beautiful area. We've been doing videos for about a month and a half now. We have 79 subscribers and 2,600 views, doing 3 a week. We have not had our first phone call yet. Any advice? Keep producing videos. Yes. So he said, so we've been doing videos for about a month and a half now. We have 79 subscribers and 2,600 views, doing 3 a week. We have not had our first phone call yet. We didn't get our first phone call for 30 days. So let's just break this down. So for us, we got our first phone call in 30 days, and we're in Dallas, Texas. Now, Gulf Shores, Alabama is not, or Gulf Shores, I should say, Orange Beach, Alabama, not the largest market in the world. So that anytime you're in a smaller market, it could take a little bit more time to get that phone call. But, the thing is that you have the advantage in the smaller market, especially if you're the main person doing that and you stay consistent. So I would absolutely stay consistent on 3 videos per week and not be too concerned about that. But I think, 79, you might be ahead of where we were at 45 days. If I were to go back and look at that, so you're ahead on subscribers, I would assume, or right there aligned with what we were doing. So, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I would keep making videos.
Yeah, a really great example is we in the coaching program with the video editing, we had a client that was struggling with getting calls, and they just felt like they'd been doing videos for a really long time, same as you, 3 a week, and I think they were about 4 months in and had not received a call. And so we had a phone call kind of to go over what was going on with their account. And as I was looking through, I was starting to see some comments. And then I was starting to hear that they were getting rental reach outs, which they didn't want rental reach outs. But I stopped them right there. And I said, now, wait a second. You're telling me that you're getting rental reach outs. So someone is calling you, and then you're also getting comments on the channel. And I said, well, usually when I start to see those types of interactions on the channel, phone calls about actual homes being sold happen within a very short period of time. So just continue to make those videos. Well, I want to say it was about 2 weeks later, they received their first call, and it was $1 million plus buyer. And so it's usually, it changes, based on your market. It may be because of this weird season. You said that it was about a month and a half in. We are in this weird season of November, December. I was talking about at the beginning of the call, but this is what traffic looks like in November and December. We have a lot of people who are in their computers for a couple of days at a time, and then they completely check out because they're trying to get things done before the end of the year. People are focused on shopping for Christmas. They're just not as involved. If they're thinking about making a move, a lot of people are taking a step back and saying, I want to deal with it after the holidays. And so what you're going to find is that around holiday weekends, you're going to have huge surges in traffic. And then, of course, next year, you're going to see probably a big jump in your traffic as well in the early months of the year as people start getting going on looking for those relocations. So I would just continue to be consistent, because right now is the time to basically prep your channel for the new traffic that will be coming in the new year. So don't be discouraged. It's going to be different for every market, but consistency is the key to getting those calls.
Absolutely. And don't shy away from rental calls, especially in the beginning. You may not want to work rentals, but you should be having conversations with every single one of those people and talking to them about the advantages of buying. And first of all, figuring out why are they not considering buying? Why are they considering renting? So each of those reach outs is an opportunity. And if they are not ready to buy, or whatever reason is holding them back, you're adding to your pipeline, you're building to your pipeline. So that is, this is I don't care what you subscribe to, any type of, even if you pay for ads or run local service ads or pay-per-click, or you buy leads from somebody, you're going to get rentals in there, right? You're going to get some spam. You're going to get people that are like, oh no, I'm not looking, I just clicked on something, it's going to happen. So the thing is that talk to everybody, especially in the beginning. And those comments, make sure you're replying and asking a question on every single comment. You're acknowledging and you're asking a question. Every single comment, while capacity, things are slow, not as busy, not as much traction. Every single comment, acknowledge and reply, and keep that conversation going. And so, we've converted several comments because we would answer them. We would acknowledge, then, ask a question. Acknowledge, ask. Did I say acknowledge, reply? I meant acknowledge, ask a question. So every single comment on your channel, acknowledge and ask a question. That's what I meant by reply. So, but acknowledge, ask a question. And so if you ask a question, which typically I'll say, where do you live now? Because I'm curious, are they local? Are they out of state? Where are they coming from? So you want to find out that information.
Yeah. And at the end of the day too, it's a good reminder to always keep in mind, YouTube is a long-term play. People who have come to me in the past and have said, okay, I'm signing up for the video editing program. I expect to see a lead in 2 to 3 weeks. And if I don't see that lead in 2 to 3 weeks, I'm probably going to cancel the service. I have to stop them right there and say, and readjust expectations. Like I said, every market is going to be a little bit different. We are in a slow time, especially right now. So right now is really a prep period for a lot of people. And I tell people to expect that, but just look at overall patterns on your channel. Really understanding the patterns of your analytics and just the overall patterns of your channel is going to be vital when you're assessing how successful your channel is at that time. If you're seeing increased activity, that means that's a positive sign. Even if it's not exactly what you're wanting, it's a positive sign. If you're continuing to see those positive signs on your channel, increased comments, increased reach outs, increased traction on views and click-through rates and view duration, those types of things are all positive signs. And that just is should be a confirmation to continue doing what you're doing and refine your process as you go. So look for those signs, and not every single thing needs to be a reach out in order to tell you that you're doing the right thing. Be looking in your analytics and learn to understand those so that you can see those positive things happening on the channel.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, want to see that back angle camera real quick?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, that's the side angle. Let me get that back angle. There we go. Hello.
Might need to be tilted down a little bit, but
no, it's supposed to be focused on the TV screen, because if I turn the TV on,
right,
if I want to, I can put a spreadsheet or something up there and show you what's going on. See, I have my Reels camera right here, so this is in a vertical format, even overhead, filming vertically, so that if I happen to drop a little nugget, then we're going to be able to pull that out for Reels. So again, what we always say is, if you are a real estate agent, you are creating 100 pieces of content per day. It's just your decision whether you document that or not. Mm-hmm. So, this is something to where I can double up on here. Could we pull Reels out of here? Sure, but I'm getting on a different angle, a different viewpoint, and it's going to be a lot easier to edit and just pull from a vertical video. That will make it look, pretty cool, and so now this is a 44-minute conversation so far, but if we get 4 or 5 reels out of what I said, man, we just doubled up on content, just made additional content. And so when you're speaking with clients, when you're speaking with other agents, and you're in your office, and this is easy, you could even do this in your car. make sure you have an extra phone. Like, don't turn in your phone when you upgrade. Save that extra phone for reels that you can set up on a tripod off to the side, kind of like right now. And so that way, while you're having regular conversations with regular people on the computer or with agents or clients, you're capturing it on a side angle camera. And then that way, you know, you're documenting versus producing. And it gives you something that you can put back out into the world. And if you're talking to clients, you know, you could pull out all your tips and tricks that you give that one client and then add that to your other platforms and educate and help other people discover you with that information. See, that'll be a good reel just in itself.
Always thinking content.
Let's see. I told someone the other day, I said, I just speak in reels these days, you know, just 60-second increments.
Always have one of those background sounds going on in your head as you're doing it too.
Yeah. Trending audio. Yes.
Great.
Low country lifestyles. All right. I got friends in low country lifestyles. Let's see. Where do you suggest filming office videos? If you do not have a good dedicated space for that, could you still set up an outside setting as long as you have Wi-Fi? So if you need a place, if you don't have a good place to film content, then find a place where you can film good content. It's really that simple. I mean, if it's a blank wall, it's a blank wall. Maybe a little boring, but still you're the subject matter expert, which also means you're the subject. So, you know, you won't pay attention. Now there's something else, you know, are there distractions in the background and lights and things like that? Yeah. But at the same time, I know a very successful YouTuber online that for the longest time just had a white wall behind him, you know, literally looked like he probably sat at his kitchen table with no art or anything on the wall behind him and just filmed videos, but hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views on videos, over 300,000 subscribers. You know, after 100 videos or so, did he put a piece of art up? Yeah, finally did. But the thing is that, you know, a blank wall is sufficient. Green screen. I mean, you could literally put a green screen behind you and have a garbage dump on the other side. And you can put whatever you want on the green screen. You can put your city, you know, all kinds of stuff on there. Green screens will hide a lot, and all you need is that to go by you. So if you don't have anywhere nice, then I would invest in a green screen. But yeah, if you're going to do it outside, if you're going to film outside, you just have to be mindful of outside noise and distractions and things that are going on. So if you're in public, that's going to be a problem. Other noises. If you're in a coffee shop, that's going to be a problem. If you're outside, you know, birds, neighbors mowing the lawn, my infamous leaf blower man across the street, just all of that stuff. That's not a recommendation unless you're doing vlog style. If you're just going to sit down. But I've done it, but I've done 2 or 3 minute clips, you know, like maybe sitting outside on a patio at Starbucks, but nobody else was there. So look, you can do anything. You can do anything you want and make it happen, make it work.
And just as an encouragement too, I mean, I would wager that you probably do have a space in your house that you can set up for this. Now, I've seen people who have literally turned a small corner of like their kitchen or something into a space that makes it look a lot bigger than it is. I think that's kind of part of the fun, is trying to find a place that you can find a little bit of quiet, and then you can also kind of make it look bigger than it is. I'll let you in on a little secret. This is my laundry room, but I spent some time, you know, putting some stuff in my background, and, you know, my shelf needs a little bit of a cleanup, but overall, you know, this is my laundry room. I'm not going to show you what the other side of this thing looks like, but you would never know that because you know, I set it up with a little bit of stuff in the background for when I film stuff. So I think that you can be really creative. I mean, Levi is currently in a spot that used to be his Airbnb. He was talking about that before, but he decided to turn this into a studio. Now, that's kind of the luxe version, right? That's something he upgraded to after a year and a half or so. But you can turn anything into a filming space if you put your mind to it. Just go to Hobby Lobby, spend some tax deductible dollars on some artwork, and kind of spiff up some corner in your house, and you can use that as a filming space. It's just a matter of using a little bit of creativity, I think.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber I'm watching right now. He's in his bedroom. His bed is the background. Now, the bed is made, and he has a little bit of a blurred background, so you can tell it's a bed. But any adding of a blur behind you too just also kind of makes almost any scenario look cool. You know, just a little bit of a blur. I mean, this one has a little bit of a blur, kind of. You know, but you can still kind of make out some things, but otherwise it still kind of brings the sharpness out on myself and makes me a little bit more of the focus. But I never knew that was your laundry room. You got a big old laundry room. You enough to have a desk and couch and shelf.
Yeah, it's oversized for sure. Yeah, and we're renovating this house to be an Airbnb next year, and so you know I needed to do something a little bit creative as we were kind of working some things. So my husband's office is also the playroom for my kids, but you would never know that because we've got some really nice bookshelves in the background, some art in there. It makes it look absolutely huge. So like I said, with a little bit of creativity and some $35 shelves from Target, you can make any room look amazing.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so who is that? Is that Jonathan?
Yeah, that's Jonathan Hernandez.
Man, everybody's got the AI photos.
I know that Lensa app. Everybody's posting those.
Is that a new app?
Yeah, you have to pay like $5 and it gives you like 50 images of yourselves in different art styles.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it like I guess it analyzes all of these different photos and comes up with its version of what it thinks you actually look like.
Yes, Jonathan, you're a very handsome fellow. You look good in any picture. I've never really seen you actually look bad. So yeah, now your AI, don't get caught up though, because your AI is really, really handsome. So just be careful, you know. I'll tell you what, I see people's profile pictures changing now and everything. And I'm just like, whoa, hold on, people. You're going to get sucked into where you like yourself as a version. Just be careful. Let's see. How can I switch up my CTA to have people call me directly via from Zillow?
Versus probably.
Oh, versus from Zillow. Oh. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, Jonathan posted that the last 3 calls he got from Zillow, they recognized his voice from the YouTube channel. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and check. As long as you're doing, you know, hey, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call, all in the description below. Other than that, as long as that's at the beginning and at the end, you could even in the middle of video, you could have a little graphic pop up that says contact information in the description below. You know, that might be something, you know, we could even add in, Krissy, like halfway through the video, just adding a little pop up that just text that says, you know, contact information in description below.
Yep.
So, yeah, it looks good. Oh, he says I'm going into the meta world now. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty unique, Jonathan. I mean, that's definitely a new one. Whenever, you know, people, you know, I don't know. You know, I think people do a lot of things what's ever in front of their face. So they might have been researching and watching your videos, and then they're looking on Zillow, actually looking at homes. And so, you know, and it was just easy for them to hit contact agent. You know, some people are just lazy, path of least resistance, and that's the route they go. But the cool thing is that, you know, they did recognize your voice, and so they already had familiarity with you. So it should be easier to capture those clients and convert them. So I think that's pretty cool, actually. But good job.
And ask the question too. I mean, like maybe you would want to ask that question of the people who are calling you on Zillow. You know, hey, what made you call me here versus on my YouTube channel? That would be a really good way to get right into the head of your audience. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, great questions today. I think we're coming to an end. Low Country says, thank you. You're welcome, Low Country. Thank you all for joining us today. I got to jump on another call, so I might as well cut it while we have a little break in the comments right there. But thank you all for joining us. And again, passiveprospecting.com. Make sure you sign up to be so you first to know whenever the book releases. Plan time right now is February of 2023. Super excited about that. I tell you what, it's just, I'm really, really excited about that. So it's going to be cool. So anyways, thank you all for your support. Thank you for trusting us to help you out in your journey as well. And until next time, we'll see you next week.